Hey, y'all, welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the live portion of 80 Fitness Training every Sunday at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. We're talking about the holy grail of supplements today.
Oh, yeah.
Creatine.
Definitely. So in bodybuilding and fitness, creatine is probably the most widely studied supplement of all time. There's so much data, so much research that you can leverage to understand creatine. So we figured it was a great topic to talk about because it really is the king of all supplements in bodybuilding.
Not only is it heavily studied, it is the most studied supplement out there. And it is yet to come back with a negative side effect. So this stuff is very safe to use.
Definitely.
It's very good to use. It's got a lot of hype. I mean, there's a ton of hype around creatine. The benefits, I mean, you're stronger, you're faster, you recover faster. It improves brain function. Creatine makes you smarter, believe it or not. This stuff is like the promises of creatine are the miracle, right? All right, so don't buy into all the hype. Yes, the stuff is heavily studied. Yes, this stuff works. However, in my research, a guy said 20% of the population already is saturated naturally with their own creatine that their own body creates. So if you're part of this 20% and you decide to take creatine, it's going to do absolutely nothing. So I believe I'm one of those blessed individuals because I've never felt creatine.
But on the other hand, I have a lot of like newbie clients that just started a resistance training program. And shortly after introducing creatine, they are all of a sudden looking more pumped up. They're recovering faster. They're not getting sore as bad. And they're able to train more frequently. So in that case, they can definitely feel it and like instantly.
Yes, I've had a case like that as well. I had a client on bench press. Got 3 extra reps, and then he actually said out loud, "Oh, that's the creatine," and then did 2 more. So he added 5 reps to his bench press and knew right away and could feel the creatine working, which is outstanding. I wish that happened to me. I really do. However, I really haven't felt much from creatine ever.
Yeah.
Do I take it? Of course. Look at the studies.
Absolutely.
You'd be foolish not to take it with all the studies coming back how great this stuff is. But again, it's not a miracle.
Right. You still have to work.
You're not going to get jacked up from taking 20 grams of creatine, 5 times a day.
That would be a lot of creatine. Please don't do that.
That's way too much creatine, by the way. And we discovered that as well. So taking too much creatine does not help.
No
benefit to taking more than 5 grams a day.
In fact, that might only almost be dangerous for your body. So there's a lot of research done, and if you stay within the recommended dosage, which is that 3 to 5 gram range, it's perfectly safe for your liver, for your kidneys. You're not going to have any type of kidney damage, especially for someone that doesn't have any type of pre-existing condition. If you do, then you're definitely going to want to talk to your doctor. But like James says, at the recommended dosage, it's really safe for you as far as what all the research and studies have done.
Absolutely. The only negative thing that we found is some stomach issues. Some people have, they got to run to the bathroom after they take it, which isn't uncommon for any supplement, really.
No.
I mean, I've taken protein and had to do that. So it's not that uncommon, but if your stomach can't handle it, I wouldn't take it.
So let's actually talk about the dosage. So you can actually, James said your body naturally produces creatine, but you can also get creatine from foods that you eat.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a lot of variability in this. So you can actually get about 5 grams of creatine from raw beef. But for one, who's eating raw beef? Nobody. It's always cooked. And when you cook the meat, you're actually cooking off some of that creatine. So it's a little difficult depending on what cooking temperature you're using to estimate how much creatine you're getting from your food. And that's why supplementing with a creatine source is better than trying to consume it naturally.
100%. You can accurately track it.
Yeah.
And you have to eat so much meat to get 5 grams of creatine. It's not even funny.
Come on, 5 pounds beef. Ooh.
Yeah. Who's eating 5 pounds of beef?
No one.
So that's the reason you supplement. You're not going to get enough from your foods. You can try, but like I said, you're eating 5 pounds of red meat just to get 5 grams of creatine, and the calories obviously aren't worth it. So you supplement with that. What there's some debate to this one now. So when do you think is the best time to take it?
I don't know. For me, I like doing it post recovery when I'm consuming my simple carbs to try to replenish those glycogen stores, because there is studies that I found, I don't know what you're going to say, where it does help with glycogen synthesis. So pairing it with the carb just makes sense from my perspective.
I agree. The debate is some people like to take it pre-workout.
Mm.
And they say the creatine hits them right away and they can feel it during their workouts. I agree with Camille. You take it right after your workout to replenish the creatine stores that you just burned. And you take it with your simple carbs because it's post-workout, which helps synthesize creatine.
Although, you know, James brought up when we were talking about shooting this video, a lot of our pre-workouts actually have a little bit of creatine in them already. So you probably don't need to add that extra creatine to it if it has that. So we are kind of getting the best of those both worlds there anyway.
Sure. Very good point. Look at your pre-workout. A lot of them have creatine in them. Bonus. So we really haven't gotten into too many details. I got some notes here because this stuff has, I mean, it's an amino acid. It's found in meats. It's for high intensity energy production. It helps you recover faster. It helps you get stronger, and it will help you gain weight. That's the water retention. It helps with brain function. 5% of your creatine is actually stored in your brain, believe it or not. Improves performance. Strength increases up to 8%.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. It draws water into the muscles, which makes the muscles look bigger and feel fuller.
That's right.
I mean, this stuff, like I said, the promises of this stuff are astronomical. It's like you're going to be Mr. Olympia when you start taking creatine.
You kind of do feel like really pumped up, though. That's that water retention. It's pulling it into your tissue.
That's outstanding. Back in the day, there was Celtec, if y'all remember that. That was basically a 5-pound bag of sugar with a little bit of creatine in it. I wouldn't recommend that. That was old school thought. That brings up a good point. There's a lot of different creatines out there.
Absolutely. There's like 5 or 8 different types of creatines, that's for sure.
You know, all the hype came out and they kept creating different types of creatine. And of course, they tested them all. Nothing came back beating creatine monohydrate.
That's a very good point.
The original, the cheapest, the easiest to get. And none of the newer creatines with their promises, none of them beat the good old-fashioned creatine monohydrate.
In fact, this is our favorite brand by Optimum Nutrition. It's a powdered version of the creatine. It has no flavor, so it mixes really well with your other supplements. I don't think they can read that. But yeah, it blends really well. And so that's why that's really my favorite creatine that I've tried.
Sure, it's flavorless. It's cheap. I mean, I believe this whole bottle was $12. And how many servings we got
It's
in
a
here?
lot.
120 servings for $12.
But yeah, even the unflavored substance itself doesn't really have a taste. I've had a lot where they almost have this like bitter taste to it. And so I definitely don't like that.
Go ahead.
I was just reading one of the comments there. You know, does creatine cause hair loss? This is a really great question. And the answer is no. There's no research that shows that creatine, when taken in the recommended dosage, causes any type of baldness or hair loss. So that's good news.
Thanks for the question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, the only negative side effect so far is the stomach issues.
Absolutely.
You might have to run to the bathroom. If it's continuous, I would stop taking it. You know, I give a supplement 3 days. Mm-hmm. If I have to run to the bathroom every single time for 3 days, I'm done.
Absolutely.
If it's 1, 2 days, and then the third day I'm fine, I'll keep taking it. But it might take your body a day or two to get used to it. So give it 3 days.
Absolutely.
If it's still tearing you up after 3 days, cut it. Not worth it.
Definitely. And speaking of like, when do you take it? So I really just stay on creatine all the time. So there's some that will just take creatine on their lifting days, whereas James and I pretty much take it every day unless we're maybe on vacation or something like that. But
sure. I mean, I did a little research and there's no reason to cycle off of it. You don't have to. You can if you like, but there's no reason to. It doesn't degrade.
Absolutely.
It doesn't work less if you keep taking it all the time. So there's really no reason to not take it.
And I would just say, if you do cycle on and off of it, you're going to want to be careful of that water retention, especially if you're a competitive bodybuilder. You're not going to, or you're at least going to want to know what you're doing with the creatine if you're like going into peak week, getting ready for a show, because if you're not expecting that water to get drawn in, or you are, it can really mess up how your physique looks on the stage. So definitely seek out a coach and get some guidance on creatine supplementation prior to your show.
Yeah, I mean, it's good stuff. The studies come back, the research comes back. It just keeps coming back with positive, good stuff. I mean, it's
absolutely,
the science keeps telling you this stuff is great. Keep taking it. I mean, we went over some of the benefits. They're just great. But again, don't buy into the hype. You're not going to be Ronnie Coleman after taking creatine.
What do you mean?
I wish, believe me. I was so excited to take creatine. I mean, this is back in the 90s, y'all. But I was hyped. I was like, I'm going to be huge. I'm going to be strong. I'm recovering faster. 3 days in, I'm like, what happened? Why isn't this creatine making me bench 400 pounds?
I don't know. 30 years later, though. I'm just kidding. James is 100% right. Nothing beats hard work. There's no supplement. Yep.
There's no magic pills. It's hard work. It's intensity. It's effort. Mm-hmm. I don't care what you're taking. There's no magic pills. Nothing beats hard work, consistency, hard work, consistency.
Absolutely. But if you're looking for that supplement that'll give you that little bit of edge, might help you recover faster, definitely give it a try if you're not already working this into your supplementation routine. And if you have been, at least now you know why, how, when you should use it.
Absolutely.
So
it's the holy grail. There isn't a better supplement out there. You know, I'm old school. I've been around. I was around when creatine came out, and the hype around it was just insane. The hype. The arginine came out a couple years later, and there was a lot of hype around that, but it wasn't like creatine.
Yeah. And enduring hype, I would say, too.
And it has lasted the test of time. So, again, it just proves it's good. It's the holy grail. It's probably the best supplement out there you can take for muscle hypertrophy.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that supplement review. If there's other supplements that you guys are curious about or like to learn more about, just drop us some comments and we'll definitely cover it for you guys.
Yeah, we're probably already taking it. So if there's any supplement we want reviewed, let us know. Anything else, this channel's for you. We're here to help. So just leave us a comment. As always, thanks for tuning in. Take care.
Bye, everyone.